Good afternoon, chat. Is anyone here ready to live the Daram? God, I hope so. First, though, I want to wish everyone a happy Star Wars Day. As they say, may the 5th be with you. And, this is from Watto. Just a little something. Just him wishing you a nice happy 5th of the Star War.
Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real.
So last night I had to clean up a lot of slime. And if you weren't at the stream, that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But if you were, then you'll know. There were slime particulates that I had to vacuum up and, like, you know, specifically pick out of the couch. Because it was a really weird texture of slime, and when I dissected that alien, little pieces of slime shot off in various directions. It was really disgusting. But I got it all, and as far as I'm aware. And I'm extremely happy that I have a new Watto figurine. It's a good Watto, chat. I'm really impressed. I said this before, but I mean, it has so many different areas of articulation. And they modeled his stomach beautifully. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I wanted to talk about something that I saw. Fallout co-creator Tim Kaine believes gaming fans often adopt streamers' opinions instead of forming their own. They're handed an opinion from the channel they're watching, and then that person's opinion becomes their opinion. Yeah, I mean, there's some of that. I've seen it as a streamer for more years than I can count on two hands. 2 hands and a foot and 1 toe. I can tell you that that is true to some extent. I think it depends on the streamer. I think it really just depends on how the streamer presents their, you know, their things. No, because no offense, your opinions are sometimes bad. That's right, wrong opinions. You heard it here first, chat. Now, here's the thing about that. I was actually going to kind of talk about that exact thing. It does depend on the streamer, but I've seen plenty of people really push hard, like push back hard against my opinions, against how I feel about a game. I've seen people really get argumentative. That leads me to another thing I saw, which was someone that said, if you're watching a streamer, chances are you already have similar opinions. And they might agree with you before you even say what you're going to say. Because you just have, you know, there's like a kind of a thing. If you watch, I don't know, certain streamers that are only into Fortnite or Call of Duty or what's the big thing? Is it LOL? Is that big now? What's the big game? I don't know what game is big. Moonchild. Yeah, that one. Arc Raiders. If you're watching someone that, you know, plays Arc Raiders exclusively for 4, 6, 10 hours a day, maybe they have an opinion, that streamer. It's possible they might not like very many other games. In which case, maybe if you're watching Arc Raiders that many hours a day, you might agree with that. So, I don't fully agree with Tim Kaine from Fallout, because I think my chat has been very vocal about when they disagree with me. And I think that's a good thing to a large degree. I really think that people need to hear different opinions and different perspectives. Unfortunately, it's the way people present them that can be really harsh, and they can be really dug in, and it makes you just reject that sort of thing. And, you know, a lot of other people have opinions that are, like, abrasive. And I can understand why that would be off-putting. So all I'm saying, man, is a little peace and understanding. You know, man, little hippy-dippy, little LSD, little little bit of DMT for all of us so we can all have a nice opinion. Peace and love. So no, I don't think, and personally, I'll just say this. I'm kind of, the type of streamer where I would prefer people see my side of things a little bit and say, oh, okay, that makes sense. I may not agree, but I can understand where he's coming from. That's kind of the best you can do in life, because there's so many different types of people out there, so many different types of thoughts, and there's so many different types of viewpoints on whether it be media or life. And I don't think there's some stuff that's just, that's shit. That goes back to wrong opinions. Does that exist? I don't know. I mean, at this point in time, it's hard to know anything anymore. But I do know that just kind of making, the effort to say, I understand, I disagree. We don't have to agree on everything, but we can maybe meet somewhere in the middle, and I can get on with my life. I think that's as good as you can hope for. Now, taking it back to video games, if I say Fallout 4 is boring, there may be someone in the audience that says, well, Vinny, I have 500 hours in Fallout 4. And I would say, I have no fucking idea how you did that. But I'm not going to be like, this game sucks to the point where people are just going to take those 500 hours back. I might say a game is not worth buying, and maybe like a couple hundred people wouldn't buy the game. But I think it kind of goes back to like the Call of Duty. Remember the what was it, chat? The fucking, oh god, when people were like, I'm not gonna buy this, and then a week later everybody was buying it. That kind of thing. Yeah, boycott. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word boycott. So that it's been a while, but I mean, at a certain point, I think people are just going to buy what they want to buy. They're going to like what they want to like. There are definitely influencer opinions, but I don't know. I've seen plenty of pushback on my own bullshit. So I don't agree with Tim Kaine. I think people are smarter than we give them credit for. People are also stupider than we give them credit for too, but that's life. Haha. Seriously though, I find what is that? Mario Kart World, the Switch 2, half the Pokemon games on the Switch, the list goes on and on. Are you talking like Modern Warfare 2? I noticed you focused mainly on Nintendo stuff, which that's a real thing. But those games were always going to sell. Those games are just going to sell because of the name and the system. But when it comes to like, I think a game also, one more thing, Starfield, for example, right? I want to talk about Starfield for just 1 second. I thought the game was fun to stream like 3 times because it was kind of glitchy. And because it reminded me a little bit of, at times of what I liked about those kinds of games. But I could tell you, oh, Starfield's amazing. But I streamed it like 4 times and that was it. It's worth nothing if a game just immediately evaporates and no one's talking about it anymore. And that kind of happened with that game, I feel. And you can be a paid influencer and someone could say, hey, here's $5,000. Say this game is awesome. You stream it once, you dance around it a little bit, you say it's awesome as hell, and you never come back to it. I think people can kind of see through that. Like I said, people are smarter than we think they are. So. Meanwhile, Horsey game? Yeah. Horsey game is definitely a game. That's true. Anyway, Chad, thank you for listening to my little rant. I don't really have much, I don't really have a dog in the race here because I feel like people are going to be forming their own thoughts anyway, regardless of what I say. But I just want you to know, I encourage people genuinely and have for years, I've tried to at least, to form your own opinions. And if you have a different thought than me, if you have a different opinion than me, that's fine. Please do. But You don't have to be a fucking asshole about it. That's all.